humans, Dave back again for more Fruit of Grisaia. Yeah, last episode was kind of crazy. I didn't think Machina was going to be as much of a favorite character for me as I thought, or as she clearly has become over like two scenes. But yeah, that's where I am. So we'll see where this goes. I'm scared for my reputation. Anyway, uh, if you haven't noticed yet, ooh, excuse me. Any game that I'm doing now on my channel here for YouTube, I'm also streaming on Twitch over at twitch.tv/RevelYT. So if you want to join me live for this, keep an eye on my Twitch stream schedule over on my Twitch page, which I just shouted out. So anyway, we're going to go from here and get back to the game. Post your mocking the top twos. You're not alone if you claim so in Shannon's server. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. I feel less bad. Yumiko, for the record. Okay. We'll see. So far, my rankings, I've got Machina just took top spot. It's like Machina, then Sachi, followed by Michiru, and then the murdery one. It's been a while since I've played, so I may have forgotten a little bit. Yeah, murdery one is like fourth. So, and Amana is like she's cool, but honestly, she's like so far out of interest for me. Like she's super bottom of my list, and I like her, but I don't know. As far as like the order I would do these routes in, she's probably the last one I would do. Maybe it's because I was raised in an environment where such words were very rare, but I think being able to thank others so freely is also sort of a talent. Probably seems perfectly commonplace to her, so I'm sure she's not even conscious of that skill. I sort of get the feeling she may just be overlooking the talents she does have. I get it. I guess that's what makes her an idiot. They say that idiots don't catch colds, but it's probably more accurate to say idiots don't realize when they've caught a cold. Fair. In the same way, because Machina is an idiot, she's probably oblivious to her own abilities. Honestly, what a weird girl. But then again, weird people are rarely boring. True. Or so I think, basking in the peaceful, sluggish atmosphere Machina left in her wake. Alright, this is starting to get really interesting, really good, actually. I was concerned for a little bit. I was like, my interest was waning, but it's picked back up. What's up, you? As soon as the lecturer leaves the classroom, Michiru slumps forward onto her desk. We've only gotten through 2 periods. Are you out of stamina already? I relate. I feel you. Mechanical pencils are the best, dude. Hey, Sachi.
ありがとう。そうそう。料理の時いつもここだけ使い道がなくて困るのよね。
Shame about the poisoning and all. Yeah.
でこれ、キャベツの芯じゃないの。
Why does she have that? What is happening?
これって日頃からシャーペンの芯とか消しゴムをサチから借りてる私への
I don't think that would count as bullying, Meech.
もしかして私実はサチに嫌われてる
I'm sure that's it. I'm certain. 100% that's gotta be it. That's quite the imaginative leap in logic there. But Mane, what did you do?
ほらサチ早く誤解を解いてあげないとチルチルが溶けてなくなっちゃうのよ
She already is, dude. Can you not see?
すみませんミチル様が欲しかったのはこちらですよね
Sachi hands Michiru a new lead for her mechanical pencil.
もう頼むわよサチさすがの私もちょっとびっくりしちゃったじゃない
Man, Sachi is great though.
飲みの心臓だものね
Oh, Yumiko is the murderous one. I thought so. Alright.
失礼ねいくらなんでもそこまで小さくないわよ ハエと同じぐらいの肝玉は持ってるわよ。
I feel like the same people who are into Yumiko are the same people that would be into, oh, what's her name on Data Life? The other murderous one. I can't remember her name from Data Life, though. But I feel like those are the same people.
どうせ見栄を張るならもっとマシな生き物にしなさいよ。なんなら試してみる？
There she goes.
いえ、本当に結構です。ごめんなさい。
Way to prove her right.
ねえねえ、サチ。私には負け組ハッパーちょうだい。
Never played Watch Data Live. It's popular in Shannon's Discord in the sense that I've seen 3+ others mention it. Yeah, that's why I watched it, was because it was popular in Shannon's Discord. So I was like, hey, I'll watch this. Cool. And so I watched the first season. It was fine. I enjoyed it.
ルーズリーフのことだよね。
Okay, that's what I thought she might be
どう
talking
ぞ
about.
マキちゃん。はい、グラッチェグラッチェ。
Thank you, game. Thank you. That is
こらこらマ
fantastic.
キな。
Get out of here. Leave. No
教
money.
室で発情するの禁止。
No running in the classroom. Holy shit.
邪魔が入ったようなのよさ。じゃあ続きはベッドの上で。
What is happening right now? I'm willing to bet she saw some spy movie yesterday. But anyway, you really got the works, Sachi.
何でもというのはどんなものでしょうか。
Here she is again. What?
やっぱりここって突っ込んだ方がいいの？どうだろうね。
You're a unique one.
ありがとうございます。
This game is gonna kill me, dude.
しかもなんか褒められてるし。
Well, she like she's just there and she says like the simplest thing and I'm just like, oh,
いいね。
fuck. I have to make decisions soon, I think. And I don't want to. Let's see, do you have a chisel on hand as well?
はい。
Of course she does. As soon as I requested, a chisel set emerges from the depths of her desk. How about a heavy-duty stapler that can handle dozens of sheets of paper at once? Standing from her desk, Sachi walks off to face a large locker at the back of the classroom. Oh my god. What's with that locker? It's twice the size of the others.
詰め込むものがたくさんあるさっちゃん専用ってやつ？ それはこれのことでしょうか？
Oh my god. Within a few minutes, she finds the requested item and brings it to me. Normally, I'd expect to have to go to a stationery store to get something like this.
ちょっとユージ、あんた今頃何言ってるのよ。十徳ナイフよりサチを持てっていうのがこのクラスでの常識よ。
She's got you. She's got everything. We got a while for choices. The common road is super long. Don't worry, I almost spoiled it. Okay, no, cool. Thank you. That sort of information is great. I'm glad that I have some real time to figure out what the heck I'm doing here, because I definitely need time for these characters to sink in a little more. These first reactions, you know. Are you saying her karate chop gets sharper than a folding blade?
そうじゃなくて、さっちゃんはそれだけ何でも用意できるってこと。
Yeah, I knew that. Yuji, what are you, dumb? Well, considering her apparent skill and devotion, I suppose she's well prepared to deal with most requests.
まあ、その格言が生まれたのにも理由があるわけだけど。あれはあまりの暑さで教室のクーラーも故障したうだるような夏の日だったわ。
I love the dramatic echo effect that they just put on. This is great.
今日は本格的に寒いわね。これじゃセミの寿命も2割引きよ。
I love the sound of cicadas, by the way. We have them here in the Midwest in the summer, and I actually find it really calming. I'm just sitting outside and that sound's going on.
ねえねえ、チルチ 昼は鍋にしようよ、鍋。こういう時こそ体も心もグツグツ煮えたぎるのよさ。おお、マキナもたまにはいいこと言うじゃない。何あれ。
さあ、暑さのせいで湧いちゃったんでしょ。
湧いちゃったって。でしょでしょ。学園で鍋ってところが飛び抜けてるでしょ。うんうん、見直した。
These two. Oh my god.
というわけでサチ、鍋セットの用意は任せたわよ。はい、わかりました。なんて、さすがに鍋は無理よね。
Oh, she's going to, man. She's gonna present the best hot pot the school has ever seen. Potentially the first and only.
さっちゃん、どこ行ったんだろう。
鍋をやるために必要なものを集めに行ったんでしょ。
Yeah, duh. The thing y'all asked about.
まさか。だって私もマキナも冗談で言ってただけなのよ。
Yeah, the only places that I know of that actually have cicadas are like the Midwest of the United States and Japan. That's the only place I've ever seen them referenced. So I have no idea how common they are outside of those two areas.
いきなりやるって言ってもきっとできっこないし。
私の耳には分かりましたってうなずいたように聞こえたけど。
Yeah, dude, like, duh. You asked her for a thing, she's gonna do it. Oh,
そう
man.
言われてみれば。うなずいてたかも。最初は
Yeah.
全員が半信半疑だった。でも授業に顔を出さず、4時間目の授業終了と同時に戻ってきたサチは。お待たせしま
That's
し
a
た。
panel. Oh, why? Oh, because it was cold,
可
right?
愛く鼻水を垂らしながら土鍋セットと食
Oh
材を
my
抱
god,
えてい
dude.
たのよ。
I said Sachi was gonna have to put up a
あの時食
fight,
べた
and
お
she
鍋は
is.
すっごく美味しかったのよさ。そう？マキナがお菓子入れたりするから最後はゲテモノ鍋になってた気がするけど。ってこらー、私が熱を入れて語ってるんだからスルー
I
しないでよ。
appreciated it. I could tell it was very dramatic and wonderful, Michiru. Incidentally, if I said I wanted nabe right now, would you be able to prepare things like you did before?
はい、できますけど。
With a small nod, Sachi moves her gaze to the locker behind us. I see. Seems like you really might be more versatile than a Swiss Army knife.
だからあんたも部活のこと言うのはやめなさいよ。サチには冗談が通じないんだから。
That's an entertaining quirk. I like it. Yeah. Alright, Sachi, let's change things up this time. Get together the ingredients for flowing Somen milk. Yuji, you're such a piece of shit. I hate you. I hate Yuji so much, dude. I can't. Oh my god, stop. Don't do this. No, stop. No. I'm sorry. Instantaneous response even here.
ってあんた、
Why,
注意してあげ
dude?
てるそばから何やってるのよ。
You did, Michiru. I was here.
ほら、もうサチが出て行っちゃったじゃない。
食材だから今度はスーパーかしら。
もしくは寮のキッチンね。
Yeah. Not a problem. I really do want to try this.
じゃあなんで流しそうめん？
You said it yourself earlier, didn't you? It's hot today, so I thought a cool meal would be best.
何よ。私のことを気にかけてくれたからって別にお礼なんて言わないんだからね。
Alright. See where this goes. Okay, this looks about right. Hey, school rooftops. It's one of my favorite places for scenes. With a careful check of the bamboo flume that makes up the small canal, I have confirmed that the water is flowing smoothly. Having explained the gist of things to the others, I spent the last 2 periods obtaining the necessary materials and putting together a simple angled bamboo gutter on the roof.
お腹減った。
A few minutes after lunch break begins, my classmates, excluding Sachi, emerge.
何これ？
流しそうめんの流しでしょ。
そうじゃなくて、なんでそんなものが
Because
学
the
園の
roof
屋
is
上
the
にあるのかっ
best
てこと
place for
よ。
everything at school. People know this.
もしかしてユージくんが作ったの？
Nope, fell from the sky. Yeah, there's a bamboo grove within walking distance in the direction of the mountain, so the materials weren't hard to come by.
まさか授業をサボって山で竹取りとはね。
Apparently. This would be the first time I've skipped class, come to think of it.
まさかあんた今まで一度も授業をサボったことなかったの？
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
今時珍しいじゃない。
Also, I used Moso bamboo for this thing, but when you're looking to make more intricate goods like a hamper or a strainer, the more flexible Madake bamboo is better suited to the job. If you can tell the difference between the two, it'll come in handy when you're trying to live off the mountains. Keep it in mind. Why? Why would she be living off the mountains, dude? Not everyone has this weird-ass backstory like you, Yuji.
いや、普通女子学
I
生が
mean, I'm
山
sure
ご
they're
も
all
りと
very
かする
interesting
必要
backstories,
な
but
いし。
not living up in the mountains with mysterious master lady and hot German chick. I don't think female students typically need to worry about living off the land. Okay.
そうね。
German.
お待たせしました。
Hey! Welcome back. Sorry for being an asshole. Sachi joins us carrying a large tote bag on her shoulder.
サッチ、ナイスタイミングだね。
Looks like you're able to find what we needed.
はい、一通りの食材は用意できました。
Well, let's start preparing for the meal.
ここが余っているようだから、私はここにするわ。
Interesting.
とか言って、本当は楽しみにしてるから一番上流なんでしょ？
Called
は、
out.
流しましょうか。
Oh my god.
それはやめておこう。ほら、
Please don't.
カッターの葉食べたら喉切れちゃうかもしれないし。
A little, Mitra. No, you would probably actually die. Stop.
マキボウ。私らは上流の二人が逃した面を根こそぎゲットするんえ。
Is this a thing? Because, like, this sounds fun.
了解ですぜ、姉子。
After I distribute a pair of chopsticks and a bowl of soup for the noodles to everyone, they take up their desired positions around the bamboo gutter. It seems like flowing somen is a rare experience for everyone, not just me. Huh. I'm gonna have to look this up after this because I am very curious about this now, and it's something I would like to experience if it's a real thing. Sounds fun.
それでは、サチ先生、第一投お願いします。はい。
Oh my god, dude. In response to Mitru's yell, Sachi releases a few strands of somen noodles into the waterway.
それ、キャッチ。うまい。
Can you put not good at it?
そんな顔
Oh
し
man.
ないで。まあ、ユミコ
She
も
wanted some
次頑
noodles,
張りな
man.
さいよ。
Kansai accent. Wait, who was? I missed that. Who? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
次は絶対。
Competition now.
ね
We have some for everyone else
も
though.
しかしてここすっごく不利な位置なんじゃない？大丈夫よ。たくさん流し始めたら必ずこぼれが出てくるんだから。
None is gonna get past those two guys.
オープス。というわけでサチ、次お願いね。では。
You know, though, yeah, the noodles go down a split path, and either in this case you get what comes to you, or it's a single line in first case. Yeah, no, that is what I was asking about. I want to look up like actual videos of what's happening in life and like real life videos after this episode because it sounds kind of fun and awesome.
ふふーん、私だって。
Yeah, dude, y'all ain't gonna get anything to eat today. Because of the intense battle upstream, none of the noodles have reached their lower position. Alright, then we'll just do this. I set up another gutter that I prepared as a spare at a position below Michiru. So actually, let's get some in this one as well.
わかりました。これがジャパニーズ直通電車で社長さん。ありがとう、ユージくん。
No need to thank me. A long time ago, I had it beaten into me not to waste the things I make.
へえ。
I glanced to my side, where Sachi is silently floating Somen noodles down the waterway. At this rate, you're not going to get any, Sachi. Alright, I'll secure your share. Scooping noodles directly from the original container, I deposit them in Sachi's bowl.
ありがとうございます。
Oh, I can't not, like... She's so cute, dude. I can't help myself.
ずるいよ、サッチンだけ。そういう手段があるなら、私もユージくんから直接食べさせてもらおうかしら。
Of course you do. Of course you do, Amane. A pair of observant hunters are on me in seconds. Hope that if everyone starts taking noodles directly, it's not flowing Somen.
ここが私の部屋だったら、ユージくんだけに女体流しそうめんやってあげてもよかったんだけど。
She's so thirsty, dude. I mean, alright. Nice ring to it. Yep. Yeah, it does. I'm not saying that.
あんた、いきなり何口走ってるのよ。
Let's go. Let's do it.
女
Whatever.
の武器を使った買収ってやつ？それなら
Yeah,
私もやるの
alright.
よさ。ラーメンって。
Oh god.
もうなんなのよこの子たちは。
Oh, dear Lord, help me.
小峰さん、手が止まってるわよ。
Remember when I said this game was gonna get me in trouble? Fuck.
すみません。
Dude.
突然授業を休みたいというから何をするのかと思えば、屋上で流しそうめんとはね。
What's up? You jelly? You want some? I mean, I did have to search for the Japanese name. And also, this is the PG-13 version, so people can deal with it. So I guess this is one upside to having the Steam version. Like, it's an option. And when I search for it, I was worried because it's not an option in English. I had to do it by its Japanese name. But it was there, so whatever. They just don't have like the game logo for it. They have like these other really weirdly obscure game logos and options, but not the actual game. Ugh, excuse me. Oh.
季節外れの転校生だけあって考えることが違うわね。
All right. Oh. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. Okay. So like maybe let's say like M-rated. We'll say it's M-rated. Who knows? The numbers are meaningless. It's I clearly don't know because I'm playing through this the first time. I don't know what's to come, but I've heard it takes about 3 days to get a cat to take to you. The girl named Arisimaki got attached to me even faster than that. Yep. Yes, this is the same Machina who used to flee the instant she laid eyes on me. Dude, like, I understand. I get it. I'm attached as well, so to speak. I have no idea what changed her mind, but lately it's been quite the opposite, with her approaching me on sight.
今日も
Hey,
暑いね
yeah, true. Not that she's particularly talkative. After a small greeting, she tends to just tag along in silence. You want something?
別に
Honestly speaking, getting followed around for no reason like this is a little annoying. That said, there's no reason for me to coldly shoo her away either. You don't need to go to afternoon class?
うん今日は私の選択してる授業もうないし
I see.
うん
In other words, she's probably just bored. The schedule at the school is divided between the core curriculum in the morning and optional courses in the afternoon. It's not rare for a few of my classmates to be lazing around by the vending machines after lunch. If you've got nothing to do, how about going back to the dorm and studying? Is what I'd like to say, but come to think of it, I'm also wandering around wasting my free fifth period. Guess I don't exactly have the right to lecture Machina. You want something to drink? I take my hand around in my pocket, searching for small change.
お金持ってる
Oh my god, really? That's an that's a real thing. I'm not gonna say that out loud on YouTube. What? That's hilarious and concerning that that's a thing. I mean, I'm not surprised actually. I mean, I've seen some shit, so that's. I'm gonna stop talking before I get myself into trouble more than the game does. Holding out her right palm toward me to declare, "It's fine." Machina takes out something that looks like a green stuffed animal from her pocket. Is it a little coin purse? Is it a little frog-shaped coin purse thing? Because that's so cute. Thinks to be a purse as its red mouth opens wide with a snap of metal bearings. Yes, those things are so cute. My wife has like a black cat one. Are you? Oh, you were checking the band. I guess you were just browsing through the banned games list to make sure this wasn't there because that would be a problem. After taking out a few coins, Machina buys a juice box from one of the vending machines lined up in the passage, then returns to my side. Pulling the attached straw free with stubby, clumsy-looking fingers, Machina pierces it into the juice box and starts to slurp up the contents. Man, juice boxes are so good. I want a juice box. Similarly, I drink quietly from my paper cup full of oolong tea. Tea sounds good also.
今日も暑いね
True. Now we're repeating ourselves. Probably evidence that we're both puzzled over how to get a conversation started. Who was it that told me the man has to break the ice in situations like this? Of course, I'm not confident I could pull that off if I tried. What do I talk about with a girl like Machina?
ねお兄ちゃんなんかお話をして
Yeah, right. Yeah, my wife has a cat one, a black cat pouch purse thing. It's super cute. I think we gave it to our daughter though. Stories. It's a fairly standard request, but I'm not sure where to go with this. What sort of story?
うん暑いからなんか涼
That's a cool
しいお
story. Okay.
話
All right, let's go. Because that's a thing, right? A cool story. That's a bit tricky. When you're looking for a chilling tale, I think ghost stories are the standard choice. Dude, what? Fortunately, I'm not lacking in that department, a legacy of the time I spent at my old school. All right, then, this is something I heard from an upperclassman at my previous school. Gotta get all flashlight in the face and oops. We're gonna get spoopy? Let's get spoopy. Oh boy, we're gonna get spoopy. This is the story of an American soldier who found himself on a southern island in a night flooded with lukewarm rain. The soldier was making his way south through the darkened jungle amid the pelting downpour, following a native trail with 8 companions. Their objective was an enemy anti-aircraft position. The rain had been falling for 2 days straight, leaving the ground swampy as a paddy field. With the moon hidden by thick storm clouds, the soldiers couldn't even see the back of the comrade walking 2 or 3 meters ahead. The squad's nerves were already worn by the suggestive darkness of the night jungle, but the relentless rain piercing through the tree canopy was slowly sapping their endurance as well. And on top of it all, the rough map they'd received from the scouts was vague to the point of uselessness, good for little but further fueling their anxiety. As the squad trudged on at a virtual crawl through the knee-deep mud, it was inevitable that their formation grew increasingly loose. So the American soldier, a sniper bringing up the rear of the column, was desperately struggling to avoid getting separated from the rest of his unit. Eventually, he heard a distinctive clacking from some distance in front of him, rising above the sound of the rain. He recognized the sound as the castanets the platoon leader carried as a means to communicate at night, or in poor visibility conditions where hand signals were impractical. The number of times he clacked indicated an order to halt on the spot. The man dropped to one knee in the muddy water, grasped his rifle to his breast, and removed the lens cap from his scope, shielding it from the rain. An enemy ambush. Lying flat on the spot, the man pressed his strong eye against the gun's sight. The back of the soldier in front of him came into view. No shots had been fired as of yet. Earlier reconnaissance had indicated there was barely any enemy troops or armed guerrillas in this area. If there were enemies here, the odds were that they would be scouts, and most likely a fairly small group. As the man rested his chin in the muddy water to watch the jungle ahead, he heard the first rounds of gunfire. The enemy wasn't even 30 meters away from his squad. They'd practically bumped into each other. Ah! 6 lines of fire from the enemy position. Just as he'd thought, it seemed to be a small scouting group. Judging from the reckless way they opened fire blindly, they were probably poorly trained guerrillas who'd panicked after encountering their enemy under these unusual conditions. Removing his gaze from the scope, the man grasped his weapon and pulled back on the bolt handle. Pushing a 7.62 millimeter bullet into the exposed chamber, he quickly returned his dominant eye to the eye cup of his sight. The muzzle flashes visible through the scope burned white after images into his pupil, fully dilated after his long walk in the darkness. He couldn't see the enemy. Aiming on intuition alone, he squeezed the trigger. A momentary explosion of light from his gun, and then he heard an enemy's grunt from the bush some 30 meters away. A hit. The man took his rifle in both hands and began to crawl on his elbows and knees in search of a new firing position. After moving about 10 meters to his left, he discovered a convenient foxhole that would serve his purpose nicely. When he swung his body down into the hole, he found it was half full of stagnant water, just as he'd expected, but that fact barely registered in his mind. More importantly, from a position like this, he could snipe while hidden for a time. Sunk to the waist in the muddy water, he mechanically pulled back his rifle's bolt and squeezed the trigger, again and again and again. All of a sudden, he heard a voice from the next foxhole. Since when had it been occupied? "Hey, give me a grenade!" In response, the man took an M67 grenade from the belt slung around his waist and held it out, the safety pin still fixed in place. A white hand reached out from the nearby trench and received it. "Thank you." The man was certain he heard those words. But no matter how long the man waited, his comrade didn't throw the grenade. Maybe the safety pin was bent somehow and he couldn't get it loose. "Hey, you okay?" As the man was speaking those words, he started to move his head to look above the edge of his encampment. At that moment, the grenade exploded in the next foxhole. Ugh. An explosion at point-blank range isn't something you hear. The overpowering waves of sound aren't recognized by your ears as noise. A mass of burning air struck the man like a wall, knocking the helmet off his head and thrusting his body backward into the muddy pool. His mouth, thrown open by the explosion, was instantly filled with filthy water. As the man desperately tried to spit it out, he realized his tongue had been knocked back into his throat. He couldn't breathe. Quickly thrusting his hands into his mouth, the man peeled out his tongue free with his fingers and powerfully vomited out the water together with the breath that had gathered in his lungs. His throat was burning from inhaling the explosion's scorching wind, and he couldn't stop the tears that were pouring down his face. His head felt like it had taken a direct hit from a fastball made of concrete, and his ears were filled with a high-pitched ringing. "Hey, you all right? Get it together." Curled up in the muddy water with his head in his hands, the man heard the voice of a comrade. At least his eardrums hadn't shattered. He felt himself being dragged up out of the foxhole by both arms. "We've got to move. Temporary withdrawal. Can you walk?" It took all the man's effort to nod his head. He couldn't see, his ears were barely functional, and his throat was on fire. He couldn't even speak. The man began to run his hands across the ground in a panic. His comrade knew what he was looking for. The man felt his rifle pressed back into his hands. Reassured by the familiar feel of his weapon, the man slung it onto his shoulder. His hand still clutching the ground, he fled that place at a crawl. Had 30 minutes passed? When the man came to himself, the rain had ironically enough finally stopped. His vision had largely recovered. When he looked around, he saw his companions all just as filthy with mud. "Hey, Shorty, you still alive?" The sniper was still scurrying along the ground when that voice called to him. He belonged to a black man who joined the army at the same time as him. They'd been in the same squad in their training days as well, and the black man was his closest friend in the platoon. His greeting was casual as always. "Give me a break." The man reshouldered his beloved rifle and told his friend about the hand grenade accident. That voice from the next foxhole, the grenade he handed over in response. Moments later, the explosion. The man angrily spat out the details of his brush with death through another stupidity. The black man listened in silence. When the story was over, after a brief pause, he finally spoke. "What the hell are you talking about, Shorty?" The man said his story was impossible. Come to think of it, of course it was. The man was the unit's birdman, the rear guard, the end of the line. Usually the birdman marched 10 to 20 meters behind the squad. There was no way an ally would have been encamped only 2 or 3 meters from his position. Even considering his movements to change his firing position, he couldn't have met anyone until the unit broke into retreat. I mean, let's say you're right and some jackass dropped a grenade in his own foxhole. Okay, who was that? When the man looked around his surroundings, all 8 of the squad's other members were accounted for. A few were lightly wounded, but clearly none of them had been on the receiving end of a grenade blast recently. "So, who the hell did you give that grenade to?" In response to his friend's words, a shiver ran down the man's spine. After rejoining the main forces and completing his report, the man told his story to a grizzled veteran. The sergeant major had an explanation of sorts for him. "That place is right around the site of an old battle where many Americans died. Among them were many wounded who'd been cruelly, slowly butchered by guerrillas with spears and bayonets, and some who had reached to the grenades on their waist and pulled out the pen rather than be tortured to death." I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Makina. No. Yuji, why? So in the end, who had taken the man's grenade? Perhaps a lingering spirit still clinging to the battlefield even in death? Or so the story went. What do you think? Get a bit of a chill?
なんて話を聞かせてくれるのよさ。
Dude.
おしくちびりそうなのよ。
It's ghosts, bitch. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, why not? Of course it was. Oh, sorry about that. Forget it.
無理。今夜一人でおトイレ行った時、絶対泣く。
My bad. Yeah, dude.
今度
You
お
fucking
話をする
dumb.
時
Kind
は
of dumb, Yuji.
もうちょっと楽しいお話にして。
Slightly happier? She only wants a slightly happier story, to be fair. Yeah, got it. Okay. Makina throws her empty juice box into a trash can and starts to patter away. Alright. So for those watching on YouTube, I'm going to end this episode here. Thanks for watching as usual. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. You know the good stuff. And if you want to join me on Twitch, again, that's twitch.tv/RevelYT. You can try and catch me live on this stuff. This stuff is getting ridiculous and kind of crazy, and I don't know what's going to happen. But we'll see. Thanks for joining. Bye.